जयपुर वाया कोटा
कृपया ध्यान आपो अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
Lucknow Junction.
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವರೆ
Hyderabad को 50 एक्सप्रेस পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন कृपया ध्यान दियो
I can barely hear anybody else because I have the sound from the stadium coming into my ear, and we're about 8 kilometers away from the stadium. But that's how loud the roar was when a young man called MS Dhoni came out to bat. I just want to tell Adam Gilchrist this, he has scored at a strike rate of 500!
He has indeed. He has indeed. And he's cost me a point.
Yes.
He has cost me getting on the scoreboard in the guessing game. But I tell you what, that young fella's going to be a very good cricketer when he grows up. Very good cricketer.
I wonder
if he sticks at it.
Wonder what he's doing in June.
Stop.
What do you reckon? What is he doing in June?
Well,
Still keep him well.
Hang on, because there is no boarding pass given to any keeper batter.
No,
so, stop it. Stop it already. All right. Well, he did score 20 or 4 balls. MS Dhoni comes in the last over, tonks Hardik Pandya for 3 sixes. His first 3 balls were 3 sixes. And then after that, he got a very below par 2 on his 4th ball. That was upsetting. Underperformed there. But yeah, he got 20 or 4. Has taken Chennai beyond 200, most importantly. They finished at 206 for 4. Obviously, the spine of that, the backbone, the base of that entire, that big building that they've made has come from Shivam Dube and the captain Ruturaj Gaikwad. Now, Shivam Dube for the big hitting, and it is, and he got some big hits in today as well. He's 66 of 38, and the captain's not that far off. He's 69 from 40, right? Whereas effectively 39 because he got out. So he's 39 scoring balls. So Ruturaj Gaikwad and Shivam Dube have scored at the same rate, which is 170 plus, and that's just, regular Tuesday for Shivam Dube. But for Ruturaj Gaikwad, this is very good from him today.
Back to back.
Yeah.
I think that's the key. Just, we talked about just compartmentalising. Just take away the captaincy hat when you go out to bat because that's all your job is to get runs. Forget about what happens in the captaincy. Now you go back in. Michael talked about it a lot. Find your fielding cap, your captaincy hat, and put that on now.
Yeah.
And go out and get that job done. But first and foremost, your job is to get runs.
Yeah.
And he's done that again, So he's gone back to back now in 2 games, capped off beautifully. Dube's just, he's got a boarding pass.
Yeah.
He's got one of my boarding passes. He's on the flight.
Yeah, he's just
continues to impress.
Spectacular hitting by him today. But I'm going to start right from the top because we still haven't been able to decode that perplexing decision from Chennai, which is breaking the opening partnership of Ruturaj Gaikwad and Rachin Ravindra. Irrespective of who the 2 people are, this is not something that Chennai does, which is why when they make a change like this, it sticks out like a sore thumb because Ruturaj has never not opened for Chennai. It's the first time he's batted, I think, out of the opening position for Chennai. So it does stick out. Big game, Mumbai, Classico, Wankhede. So for them to do it, I don't think we'll ever figure it out unless you call your buddy Huss.
Yeah, I'll try and tap into Mr. Cricket tomorrow and then we can discuss it in readiness for the next game that Chennai play. But and it remains to be seen if it's been a successful move. 200... we focused on the Mumbai Indians scoring rate in the last 8 games, 7 of the last 8, up well over 10 in many of them. Is it enough? Pre-innings, we thought, maybe not, but 200, you've got to get at least 200. So they've got there. They laboured early on, and it was Dube who saved them and MS ultimately at the end there. But, I do agree. I think it's fantastic of the captain, the youngish captain there, first-time captain for this particular franchise, Gaikwad, to go out there. And I loved his intent. The statement when he first came in, he was 24 off 12 and he was charging Kutsia. He was really just showing his team that we know we've got to get at least 10 and over throughout this duration. Got held up a fraction in the middle, but then was able to just show that intent again. So it's all about learning. It's a tough place and tough forum to learn in.
Yeah.
But again, taking the Michael Vaughan approach of juggling, that hat, put that down, that hat. So, and inside that hat go those thoughts, and then pick that one up and allow a clear brain now when I go out to bat. And that seems to be what happened today. But it'll be interesting to see what the narrative is around that decision making as to the swap.
As you said, and we talk about them so often, they don't do things just for the sake of trying something.
Yeah.
They generally have a reason behind it. And so between Stephen Fleming and Ruturaj and maybe the rest of the coaching staff and senior players, they must have had a reason for it. It's his home ground, I get that. But, Ruturaj is a genuine opening batter. And they need that combination to work with Rachin Ravindra, who's had another okay-ish innings, without sort of setting the game on fire. So I couldn't quite understand it. They've clearly must have a reason for it, but I didn't quite get it. And, 5 off 8 didn't work. The captain was still in plenty of time inside the power play anyway.
Yeah.
So,
End of the second over, so he was there.
It was sort of, it was an experiment that did not work, and he's ended up with 69 off 40. So, you'd say they didn't lose too much.
Yeah, the captain, of course, got his runs, and Shivam Dube, and that partnership, that partnership was good. Yeah, remember that they had a power play that was pretty unimpressive. A 48-run power play at the Wankhede is unimpressive. Let's not mince our words there. But how impressive is this? You get 90 runs at a strike rate of 200, Gilly. You'll take this, as I say, every day of the week and twice on Sunday.
Absolutely. No, that was really well played. And we spoke, didn't we, GK, at the in the com box at the 10 over point, 12 and over to get up to 200, but the Bumrah factor, so they were going to have to target someone else, and they were able to do that. And obviously at the end there, that was Dhoni who targeted Pandya, but in that partnership, I just find Dube, all the focus on his power, and rightly so, but he still seems to have this ability to slow his mind a fraction. He doesn't hit everything, and he can get the ball to funny parts of the ground. He can get a ball down that way as equally as he can get it that way. So for a big, tall man, he still seems pretty nimble around the field and manipulating the field.
That's a great point, actually. A great compliment as well coming from you, and it's a great point that he's not just. We keep talking about him being a big hitter and him destroying the spinners, and when you're destroying the spinners, it's pretty much here, right? That's what you're doing. But you're saying he's a little more than just that 90 degrees.
Yeah, and he received some fantastic deliveries from Jasprit Bumrah.
Yeah.
And he didn't panic. He didn't think, I've got to do something, get down and try a lap or something like that. He played it on its merits. If you receive a perfect Yorker that you can't do much with, well, maybe just jam it out, just at least get a 1.
Yeah.
We know he's the most dangerous player in the opposition, Bumrah. Let's just get it for 1 if we happen to get something else that's a bonus, and then just flourish.
As soon as Bumrah missed, was it lowish full toss that went through
and
extra cover?
It.
Absolutely drilled it through extra cover for 4. So, I think he's really growing since last year. Last year he was a real power hitter and took down the spinners, but was undone a bit with the short ball, and they went short at him. What I've found this year is he just tries to control the short ball.
Yeah.
He realises he doesn't have to hit the short ball out of the park,
Yeah.
and he can ride with it. He can work it over short fine leg if they're up inside the circle. And I think the mental side of his game has really come on leaps and bounds just from that point of view. As Gilly said, accessing the backward point region, opening the blade, just gliding it now and then. There was one shot he played, and you were like, "How's he got that there?"
Yeah.
The one down backward of square, where he's just closed the face and turned it down. So he's now able to understand what he has to do against the seamers and the quick bowlers, not just the spinners.
True.
I think that's a real growth in his game. And talking to Manoj downstairs as well, he said he's obviously had a good domestic season, worked hard. He certainly turned up this year looking fitter and trimmer than he did last year. He's obviously on the right path and desperately keen to play more cricket for India, which is a good sign.
And of course, when MS Dhoni comes into bat at the last over, and when MS Dhoni hits a 6 at Wankhede, makes people very happy. So memories come back, right?
So you remember like 13 years ago, but you don't remember 3.5 months ago?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
No,
I remember the 2nd of April at Wankhede, 2011. What are you talking about?
No, 19th of November. Was it? Was anything happen on that?
I remember something strange. There was, I think it was a leap year because it was 18th of November and then it's 20th of November.
Right.
So I don't know. It's like, have you been to hotels where the elevator goes from 12 to 14?
Yeah, I have actually, most of them.
Yeah, so there's
Okay.
13. So
I'm staying out of this, all right. I'm just an observer.
There's been a long running thing with Dhoni and
thing I was watching.
Also, you have got a dog in the fight, so he can't see anything anyway. If anybody
Fair
remembers that day, it's the people from down under. They do. They're not forgetting that one, just like we're not forgetting the 2nd of April. And when he came in, I think, and we can all get a little carried away and we can get a little excited and say, yes, of course, MS Dhoni came, and hit 3 sixes of 3 balls, but those were 3 kind of ordinary balls from Hardik Pandya.
junk. I mean,
They were junk, did you say?
awful. It really was awful.
Tell us what you really think about them.
Come on, please. Have a plan, at least have something. You can't be dishing that up to MS. I mean, whether he'd be hitting those out of the park in 10 years' time when he's 53, let alone 43. But he's got such brute power.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. I mean, the first one we thought he'd just slice it straight up in the air. And it's gone 41 up and 83 long.
Yeah.
And but there was no real plan, I don't think, from Hardik in that last over. It was he was running up hoping rather than having a plan, have a field set. If he'd fired 3 balls in at leg stump and he'd got 1 or 2 of them away, fine. But he was wide, he was straight, he was into the surface. There was no real plan, I don't think. And he still looks like he's struggling.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That
Still just looks like he's not getting through the crease and struggling just a little bit.
Yeah, I said about Gaikwad's positivity, and he showed that as captain he was going to come out with intent. The only positive about that tonight for Hardik Pandya, his bowling, and he's still got a bat. He might win the game. He might have a huge impact, but the only positive is that he was prepared to take on the challenge.
Yeah.
So I'm captain. I'm going to have a crack here. But then he looks proppy. As we use in Australian sporting terms, you're just a bit ginger. You're not quite fluent. You're not
Clunky,
proppy, whatever terminology. He just does not look anywhere near 100% with ball in hand. And then, so if there is any doubt about the physicality, then that's where this part. God, I can't comment on a bowler as a bowler running.
Right.
I would imagine. You can't have any authority about what you're about to deliver or what the plans were. It was scattered. It was not pretty at all, and it could prove fatal as far as a cricketing game goes, because his first over was... and then the wides too, challenging the wides, which were clearly wides, that reeked of desperation.
Yeah, and both reviews used up in those first 2. That over didn't start for a while because of that. But we'll have a look at the other bowlers as well, because Hardik's first over also went for 15, and then after that, the last one being expensive. His 3 have gone for 43, but Romario Shepherd, well, he took a bit of stick as well. I remember all of us looking at that and saying, oops, bit of your own medicine.
Yes.
Do unto others.
I mean, look at Nabi, 3 overs. I mean, he's such a gun.
That's
I mean,
gold.
he's still going. I mean, he's the same age as MSD, I think.
Is he?
I mean,
In
Nabi.
real?
I think in real terms, he's the same age as MSD or close to it.
Wow.
And he's just still going and still bowling beautifully. He controls the flight so nice. He bowled 2 of those overs in the power play.
Yep.
And I think he bowled 3 by the 8th.
Yeah, true.
So just, on what we term as a great batting surface, he just found a way. He's such a clever bowler. Yeah. And Bumrah, I mean, look tonight, again, he was absolute gun. But maybe they're just thinking, we can't give him wickets. We give him wickets, he puts us under pressure.
Yeah.
Let's take him for 25 to 30 if we can, and let's just not give him wickets.
Yeah, those 7 overs are 46 runs, right? You've got from your experienced pros, Bumrah and Nabi, and then you do the reverse math and you go, the other 13 have gone for 160.
A lot.
So there's a lot that they have to work on there. And the thing is that we keep harping on the Mumbai batting, and that batting is gun. But the bowling's going to look at this and say, all right, we got the bank of Bumrah, and then the other 16, I kind of don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, no, that's a question, regardless of tonight's result, that they need to go away and have a real think about, because, that's so who bowls those other overs that Pandya may not bowl? He's not going to have any confidence, I wouldn't have thought, to come out and roll it out again. But he might be better for the run. His body might pull up okay, and he might go, okay, I'm confident, a bit more prepared to bowl. But that is an issue. That's a big question they need to have answered before the next time they have to run out with ball in hand.
But the second part of this game is actually, because it's it's safe to say, Simon, that Chennai's strongest suit perhaps is bowling this season. When you have Patirana, you have the phase, you got the spin coming in as well. So you're looking good with Tushar Deshpande, that he's been doing your job well. So it's like the strongest suit is now playing the strongest suit?
Yeah, I think the batting just doesn't, until MS came in, and outside of Dube, just when Daryl Mitchell clothed it. He clothed it off, and he just didn't look like he had that power game. I think he's trying to overhit it. He's a big lad, Daryl Mitchell, and when he times the ball, he hits it a long way. You just get the feeling he's almost trying too hard to hit the ball out of the park, and he doesn't need to do that.
Yeah.
And so until MS came in, it just had that little feel like it was just going down a little bit. So that was a brilliant finish. I think their bowling is their strongest point. You imagine Jadeja's going to bowl pretty well on most surfaces. He's such a good, high-quality spinner. I think having Patirana back is going to make a big difference.
He's been
for them
subbed
as well.
in, so Patirana's there, Fizz is there.
The Fizz is there. Deshpande, who's a local boy, and he's a Mumbai lad as well, so he'll know the conditions pretty well.
As a Shardul.
So they've got their bases pretty much covered there with a couple of those and plenty of options.
Yeah, but then again, on the other side, you have this gun batting lineup which just keeps going, and you might even not need all of it. They haven't. There's Rohit Sharma, Ishan Kishan at the top. Both got explosive starts in the previous game. And then you get Surya, you don't actually have to go beyond that for 200, right? Because he's going to be subbed into this. Then Tilak, Hardik, Tim David, Romario Shepherd.
Yeah.
If there's a batting lineup you'd want to roll the dice on to get 207, it would be this one.
Yeah, for sure. I think how they play Jadeja is going to be key. They've got to be, I think, show positive intent. But again, I don't think they want to open it up so that he can pick up wickets. He obviously in different conditions, different surface, rip the heart out of the Mumbai. I'm thinking of the KKR game. It showed that he can rip the heart out of a batting lineup. But different conditions, different opposition. But I think he's so experienced, isn't he, with his clever changes of pace. Particularly if he comes in early in the piece. So how they play him, I think that'll be vitally important on their journey towards 200. Tim David, how he takes on if he matches up against Jadeja will be an enthralling proposition.
All right, so what do you call it, boys? Advantage? Anyone? 50-50? It's a tough one to call, this one.
It is. I still think the side batting second, having scored 230 and chased down 200 in no time.
Yeah.
I still think the advantage is slightly with Mumbai.
Okay.
Probably 55-45, I think.
So just a little ahead.
Just a little bit. You're going to go the other way? Yeah.
It's only subtle.
Runs on the board,
And that finish and everything that comes with that. Just think, And it'll test the resolve of Mumbai. How real is it after the bad start, couple of big, flex the muscles games.
Yeah.
But just are there cracks still there? Were they papering over those cracks, particularly with the captain and the mindset and how powerful that crowd was in support of MS then? I just think it's advantage then. With the runs on the board, the mind can play silly games, and the hardest thing to do in cricket is hit winning runs.
Okay, that's good then. Let's get our power play score predictions and then scoot out of here. So who's going first?
You, because you won, didn't you?
Oh, yes,
the honour's yours, mate.
Well done on the win too.
Yeah.
Thank you. I think I am going to go 58.
Right, I'm going to go lower. I'm going 50. Bang on. 5-0.
50.
You left me no room. You've gone 58. I will go 63.
63. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's Rohit and Ishan, so, that can happen. They could even go to 70 and then everybody's out of play. All right, well, that's all we have time for. Thank you so much for watching Cricbuzz Live. We'll see you at the Combox at the end of the 10 over mark. Thank you so much for watching. And big thank you to Simon Doull and Adam Gilchrist. Bye-bye.
Jaipur via Kota.
कृपया ध्यान आपो अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವವರೇ
Hyderabad को 50 एक्सप्रेस পরবর্তী স্টেশন नेताजी भवन। कृपया ध्यान दें